Right, no matter what you think, we are influenced by people and what they actually do, and these can be very influential in the way we lead our lives and how we do things, especially when we're looking at it in a sporting context. So what we want to achieve from this is we want to consider the characteristics that a role model might have. Okay, what makes a role model? What makes them who they are, and what makes them somebody that will influence other people? We're going to also look at the importance of role models in setting participation trends or shaping attitudes. So why do those role models make certain things more popular? Why do they mean that certain people might play certain sports, and so on and so on? And then finally, consider the effect role models can have on the popularity of activities. Again, following on from some of the things that we've seen over the past 12 months, will there be an increase in participation and popularity of sports? So what is a role model now? The example and the definition is up there. Any person who serves as an example whose behaviour is emulated by others. So we're looking at people who inspire people and are copied by others, whether it be for a piece of skill or whether it be in their behaviour, the way they dress, the way they interact with other people. And this can be characterised in a few ways, because obviously it doesn't make a difference really what sort of race, colour, creed, your religious beliefs, etc. are. But three key terms that we need to bear in mind are inspirational. So that's being able to motivate and fill someone with the urge to do something. So making people do things that they might not necessarily otherwise have done. Ethnic, a group of people with a common national or cultural tradition. So whether that be British, African, American, or we're looking at some more general ethnicities like Asian or Caribbean, they all obviously can act as role models. And then status, which is a level, rank or particular social position that they may hold, that therefore again may influence and act as an inspirational tool, as a role model within the sports community. Okay, watch the video and comment on whether or not you think these guys are positive or negative role models.
Why do we still do this job?
This is the best job in the world, man. We get to wear awesome outfits, and it's totally easy to do hungover.
Let's rock West Academy.
The energy drink, Minotaur, is good.
Woo! Taste the beast!
Minotaur!
Oh, God.
A large black coffee.
Do you mean a venti?
No, I mean a large.
Venti is a large coffee.
Really? Says who? Fellini?
You know what? You've been picking fights with everybody. I can't stand it anymore. I'm moving out.
Woohoo! Good morning, Flexible.
Your electricity is out.
Just doing my part to save this big blue planet.
Your water is shut off, too.
Like I said.
Oh, hey! Oh, it's all right, we're here. You can let it down.
Too late, it's already up.
Taste the beast.
Destruction of school property, vandalism.
Shut up!
They wanted to give you 30 days in jail.
What?
But I worked my magic on the judge. Instead, you have community service. You're going to Sturdy Wings.
We bring adults and children together to enhance the lives of these children through one-on-one friendships.
I already prefer jail.
Hey, big brother.
Your kid's name is Augie Farks. This is Danny. He wants to be your new friend.
I wasn't really 100% yet. Don't judge me.
No worries, my liege. Ronnie's one of our youngest. No one's lasted more than a day. But I think you're perfect because you're young and you don't want to go to prison.
What up, Ronnie?
I don't want to take my pants off.
What? Been talking for half an hour. Kids barely said a word. I don't want to be alone with them, Danny. Oh.
Right, a little bit of work to do now. And when you look at all these pictures, they all act as role models in varying degrees and levels. Why are they role models? And what I'd like you to do is just create a little list about the reasons that they may be role models. Now, some of them will be role models in just their sport and their behaviour, their attitude, but other them may transcend and go across sport and into culture, society, and influence maybe even governmental policy. Can you name who these people might be, and why are they so popular? Right, take a bit of time here, pause your video, and then take a little read about the role models that you have an article on in the bottom right corner. The article gives you a good idea about what some of the characteristics are of a good role model. But here are some more. They need to be competing or playing fairly and by the rules, be inspirational, have a good level of performance in their own right and successful and famous through this. We don't really tend to use role models who are bad at their sport as positive role models. They need setting trends for others to follow in their own sport and another sport they clearly follow or endorse on the way they go about competing. And then shaping attitudes by the way they conduct themselves in their sporting life as well as their private lives. So for example, when you see the stories in the newspaper about footballers who may have been on a big night out and then disgrace themselves, are they setting that positive role model that may be influencing younger children? Are they accessible? Can they be seen as somebody's approachable or somebody who is able to influence on a day-to-day basis? It doesn't have to be somebody who's on TV. It could be somebody like a family member, a coach, a PE teacher, or somebody within your own peer group could act as somebody as people aspire to be like. Do they take part in popular activity or one that is growing in popularity? And then do they represent a particular group, such as someone like Monty Panesar became a cult figure because of his being the first Sikh player to become an England cricket player. It could even be their gender or whether they have a disability as well. Have a little look at the question. If you've got somebody next to you, have a chat to them about what they think the pressures of a role model might be. If not, just do it on your own. So here's a list of all those pressures that are on a role model. Can you pick out some of the key words that we talked about earlier and also maybe identify a couple of other ones that may be useful in your exam when you're writing maybe an essay question or trying to answer a 2 or 3 mark question? Do you think that these pressures that are on role models are fair? Do you think that there should be less pressure on them, or do you think that the amount of pressure and the spotlight that is forced on them by the media and maybe internal pressures within family, school environment or a club environment for maybe a sports team that you play for are acceptable? Now have a very quick look at the grid and table on the screen right now. What it does is it gives you the role of a possible role model, what their goal is, and how they can obviously be beneficial to others and the personal benefits that they will gain from it. Be aware that not all role models are obviously people you will see on TV as elite sportsmen or somebody who competes at a very high level. They can be people that are much closer to home and that you encounter on a day-to-day basis. Perhaps you're one of those role models when you're acting as a captain or a coach or even an organiser of an event. Right, a little bit of research now. Have a look at the 6 role models that are shown in the pictures on the screen. Find out whether or not you think they are positive or negative role models. And then for those of you who wish to develop and expand your answers so that you can work towards that B, A and A star grades, you need to start evaluating and describing and analysing why they are either positive or negatives. And then you can maybe compare them against each other. For further information, the BBC Bite Size section on role models and behaviour is really good. It does provide you with some more sporting examples and I can thoroughly recommend it. So have a little look there, see what you think. Finally, have a little look at these people and their views on role models in sport. Do you agree with them? You may find some of them a little bit that you don't unfamiliar because they are American sports stars, but that doesn't really change the message that comes across with it.
You ready? Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this.
A role model is somebody that you can look up to that is good in the community and society and is someone you should base your values off of.
A role model is someone who inspires you to better your life.
A role model is someone who demonstrates good behaviors that others can follow.
A role model is someone you can look up to
that like represents a sport in a good way.
Someone that you can look up to and influences you in positive ways.
A role model is somebody that you look up to.
Picking it up, let's go. Who the hell is he anyway? He never really
Eli Manning.
but still even in starstruck.
Ray Rice.
The many misjudge him because he makes a living.
Ryan Scalabrine.
Together himself, got a picture connect.
My sports role model is Jenny Finch.
He's only focused on what
My sports role model is Jerry West.
and now it all unfolds. The skill of it.
Mike Phelps.
20% skill, 80%
Tiger Woods.
clear, cause Ryu was ill.
My sports role model is Leo Messi.
Then I heard him wreck it with the crystal method.
Mike Vick.
Came back, dropped Megadeth, took him to church. I like Bleach, man. Ryu had the stupidest verse. Let's do this.
I think he represents like the highs and the lows of the game, and he's clearly the man.
Because he's a great swimmer and I want to swim like him someday.
He's a mountaineer, he's also the NBA logo.
Because he's the best soccer player in the world.
She's my sports role model because she's a 3-time Olympic gold medalist, and besides just being a amazing softball player, she is able to raise a family, have a son, a successful husband, and she's just all around great.
Because he's got 2 Super Bowl rings. I'm a Giants fan.
Because he's black and he has big muscles.
The reason he's my sports role model is because he's fought with a lot of diversity, being a white redhead in the NBA, and he is by far he's the highest selling jersey for every team he goes to, from the Celtics to the Bulls, even though he's a bum and he's trash. And he always has a good positive attitude, no matter how bad he does. He's a good presence in the locker room, and that's what the kids should be looking up to, because he doesn't hot dog it. He's just a good guy, good presence in the locker room who the fans love, and is always in a good mood.
He likes dogs.
Now like goes on in his mind, it's like a design is written in his head every time before he even touches a key or speaks in a rhyme. And those motherfuckers he runs with, the kids that he signed, ridiculous, without even trying. How do they do it? This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50%.
Bad sports role model would be Ray Lewis, because he's a murderer, maybe.
Maradona. Because he got caught with cocaine during the World Cup.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Darryl Strawberry, old player on the Yankees, he got caught with drugs, so it's a bad role model for kids.
Top beer, machine shop.
Okay, finally have a little look at this activity. You can work in small groups or you can work in your own. Think about an exam question and how it might ask you what the positives and negatives are, and also see if you can focus in on your own personal favourite sportsmen and whether or not they are a positive or negative role model. Think of things that have happened recently in the press and then use that as your inspiration. Okay, best of luck.